Welcome back. So now that we have the file available and we even know it's a valid file, let's upload it, right? I'm going to stop you there and I'm going to try and actually explain why we don't not just want to start using Firebase file storage right here. We want to make a service for this, just like we have the user service taking care of the users, because we don't want to start polluting all of our data with Firebase and Angular Firebase information, right? We want to only let this piece of component, this code right here, know about the absolute required setup, which is right now just that it gets a user service somehow and that gets some users somehow. We don't know why, we don't know how. We just know we get the data when we need it. We're going to do the same with the file upload. We're going to put the responsibility of working with files into a file service. It's just a good way to code, because then later on, if you want to switch from storing your files in Firebase storage, you want to switch to Dropbox, no problem. You can just kind of change it one place, which will be inside your service, and the rest of the code will still run. So you have to kind of think about future use of your code, not only what's going to happen right now. So let's just try and do that. Let's jump into the code and just, instead of adding it right here now, we're going to create a new module inside our code here. So let's do an ng generate. Can I just get rid of that? Thank you. Module, and the module that we're going to generate is going to be called file system. Now the reason that I call it file system and not just file is because I want to be able to manage an entire file system later on with my albums folder right here. So we'll get back to that. So I'm going to end up having maybe a set of folders, subfolders with files inside them, and I want the file system to be managed. But the first step will be the file service. So let's just add this module right here. There we go, we have a new module available. Let's just try and open it so you guys can see it. The file system module right here. Let's try and open it. There's nothing in here right now. So what I want to do next is I want to add my first service to this module. And you do that by saying file system. This is where I want to put the service. It's going to be inside this folder. And I'm going to call the file service just file, right? So that'll be the file service. But I want to also, in the same time, add it as a provider right here. Now, if you guys remember, when you're using services, you need to add the providers. Let me try and show you. There's no providers there. I guess there's inside this guy. Yeah. So you add the provider user service right here. You can, of course, do that manually very easily. But I'll just show you the command again if you want to use that, so that it'll automatically add that. By putting in --module right here, and then putting in equal and then the name of the module we want to add it to. Now we want to add it to the module that's under the file system folder / and the name of the module is also file system module right here. There we go. Now it would probably just have been easier to copy it in there directly, but let's just try and run this so you guys know the command. Later on it might be a lot easier running this command than having to write it later on. There we go. So if I open this guy now, you'll see that it automatically added that provider in here. Ta-da! So we also have the service available right here. Sweet. I want to do one more thing before we end this lesson, because this new module needs access to the file storage module, right? Because this guy is the guy who knows about how to work with the file storage. Later on, he'll also know about how to work with the Firebase file store, because that's where we want to store the actual folder structure later on. So we'll get back to that. But right now, this guy knows about the storage module, which pretty much means that we're not going to tell the profile component anything about the storage module. We gave that responsibility now to the file system module. Okay, that's pretty cool. And let's also actually prepare ourselves for the next lesson by adding a private variable right here. AFS, that's the name of the file store we used earlier. So how do we put this as storage? Let's just do AFSO for storage. I don't know. Find a better name. Angular File Storage. That's going to be the name right here. So next lesson, we're now ready to create our upload function and actually start working with upload. So see you next time. We'll have even more fun.